One thing I left out, 1984 SEC Player of the Year at Auburn. How pumped are you that your alma mater has made it to the Final Four as the number 1 seed overall? And Chuck, how do you see that game playing out?
Well, Jim, I got to tell you, kudos to Bruce Pearl and his coaching staff. I never thought Auburn would make it to the Final Four. You know, one of my proudest accomplishments, when I went to Auburn in '81, they sucked at basketball. And I felt like me and Chuck, the rest of the team, obviously getting to March Madness for the first time for Auburn was one of my greatest accomplishments because nobody cared about basketball when I got to Auburn. And for me, us getting to March Madness was one of the coolest things ever. But what Bruce has done, getting us to the Final Four in 19 and having us back. And then what's amazing, Jim, you know, Auburn lost in the first round the last couple of years, and everybody was disappointed. So that tells me what a great job Bruce Pearl is doing. I mean, it's amazing, man. I love that guy to death. I'm so proud of these kids. And dude, I tell you how crazy it was the first time, Jim. We lost a heartbreaker to Virginia. I was so upset and heartbroken for those kids. They almost gave me a couple segments off because I was so upset. First of all, by the way the game ended more than anything. But I was so upset for those kids. They're like, do you need a break? I said, I think I do. But I put it together because I didn't think it'd be fair to the rest of the guys just because my team lost not to be a professional.
Charles, that's an amazing story. That's an amazing story. And you know what? In no way can I ever relate on any level like that with you as a media member, but I have such a profound love for my college as well. And I remember when UC Santa Barbara, we had never been in the tournament either, and Brian Shaw got us there. And I'll never forget how amazing it was. Can you explain, even as one of the greatest of all time, who's got a resume that's almost unparalleled, why it meant so much to you, why you were so emotionally moved, why you hurt that much for those kids? Why were you in a place where you're like, you know what? It's going to be hard for me to actually do my job right now.
Yeah, you know, it's because the reason March Madness is unscrew-upable, and I don't even know if that's a word. You know, you talk about your college. I mean, every year there's a chance your college can do something special. And now I don't know how it's going to turn out now with this transfer portal. Guys, smaller schools getting screwed every year by people coming in, offering them more money. But every year there was always like, man, my team is going to go deep in the tournament. And Auburn, for me, like I say, I never thought we would make it to the Final Four. Now we've been twice because basketball used to be irrelevant at Auburn. Jim, when I first got to Auburn, I was having some success. I'd be standing with the great Bo Jackson, and fans would knock me out the way to get Bo's autograph. And in fairness, it's still like that now. When I go down to Auburn, I go to about three football games a year and about 4 or 5 basketball games. When I'm standing next to Bo Jackson, people are literally moving me out the way to get to Bo, which is fine, because that guy's the best I've ever seen play in college. He was amazing. But I never thought Auburn would be this relevant in basketball. The number 1 overall seed. Like, think about it. The last 2 years, Auburn lost in the first round and people were upset. And we've only been to the tournament a handful of times. So I'm so proud of these guys. Now, the Florida thing scares me to death because we were ranked number 1 basically all season. And Auburn and Florida came to Auburn, and we got a great home court environment, the Jungle, and they flat out spanked us, Jim. They flat out spanked us. We're going to have to play a lot better Saturday because Florida came into Auburn when we were ranked number 1. I think we were on like a 10, 12 game winning streak, and they flat out just spanked us. The game was not close. So I'm really worried about the game, but you know what? We got to play better, brother. That's it, plain and simple.